Hi everyone, it's Andre Regan from MS Solutions Training. Thank you for joining me once again. Today you'll notice I'm wearing this headset and this boom mic because I've been told that the volume on previous recordings was a bit up and down. Obviously I'm still getting used to all this, so please bear with me. So I've taken on the feedback and hopefully this has improved. With all of these short talks, they are basically based upon micro lessons. These micro lessons are available on a site called EdApp. So there is a link below for anyone who wants to have some written material to refer to after the talk for this one and for the other ones. Please look at that link below. Okay. So today we're going to talk about communication. So what are we going to cover? We're going to cover the types of communication, limitations to effective communication, and the 7 C's of communication. And when we talk about communication, we're talking about general communication, how we go about this. And of course, subject to another lesson will be how that changes during time of crisis. So, what are the different types of communication? Well, we have verbal communication, the spoken word. We have non-verbal communication, which is the act of conveying information without the use of words. It's our body language, it's our expressions. Written communication is a process of conveying a message through written symbols or letters. Visual relies on images, charts, graphs and symbols, such as writing, to convey meaning. Listening. Now, listening is overlooked often, but it's a crucial form of communication. It's the active process of receiving and understanding a message, both verbally and non-verbally. So you're listening with your ears and you're listening with your eyes, almost, if you could use that expression. And digital communication. These are electronic transmission of information through email, social media websites, smartphones, texting, applications, all sorts of different modern ways of communicating. So with these various types of communications, there are limitations to how effective that communication actually is. So let's take the workplace environment. We know that there are meetings and different frequency of meetings, different structures, different agendas. Now, if these are all very, very different and there is a lack of standardization, this can lead to communication silos where those in that particular department or function are very much inward looking rather than outward looking to the wider organisation. And what that can do, that can spread confusion, it can spread rumour and all sorts of issues which ultimately could damage your business. Misinterpretation and ambiguity, so commonplace in communication, isn't it? Where we don't fully understand what's being said, or the sender doesn't fully communicate effectively to the person who's receiving that message. So there's a bit of a disconnect between the sender and the receiver. Now, if we have meetings in person, this provides more clarity around the context and the motivation behind the words exchanged in a conversation, because you can see the person. You can understand their passion, you can listen to the tone of their conversation, you can see the emphasis they put on various words or various parts of the phrasing. Also, people can ask follow-up questions. So where they don't fully understand what's being said, they can check their understanding, clarify their understanding, amend their thoughts and so forth at that time. Because obviously when you have written conversation, you don't necessarily have that opportunity, because there's miscommunication can occur because of the way that something's written, and because you don't have those non-verbal cues that you do with a face-to-face connection or an online connection where you can actually see. So what can happen is people are unable to leverage those body cues, the facial expressions, the tones, and so they interpret in a way that the style reflects. And so the reader is reading a particular thing and completely gets the messaging incorrect because of the style it's been written in, and so on. So that over reliance on written communication can cause some issues. Also, with this, cultural differences are a big factor because, as we know, different cultures express themselves in different ways. Different facial expressions, different head movements, and so on and so forth. So, and because there may be cultural differences, the written communication may not fully express the interpretation that the sender's going to ultimately have. By being overly connected, what do we mean by that? Well, in this modern age, we are constantly in touch with our work, or we can be, can't we? Through email, through phones, through text, through WhatsApp, or other similar applications. So it's very easy to stay connected to the workplace. And what that can do is cause people to actually overwork. Don't forget, with the flexibility we now have since COVID-19 of more people working from home, they obviously enjoy the fact they don't have to commute, so they save time in that regard. But because of that, some feel guilty and many feel the pressure to be on at times when they wouldn't normally be on duty, let's say. So what can happen is messages are sent out of hours, and those who receive them out of hours sometimes feel the pressure to do the same because they think, oh, others are working, I've got to be working. And because they're working beyond their normal hours, they're failing to get that lifestyle balance. And what this can do, it can lead to overwork, tiredness, stress, ultimately burnout, and effectively the whole thing is causing employees to underperform. And clearly, if employees are underperforming, the business can be negatively impacted because employee engagement is suffering. A lack of feedback can affect communications going forward. So, a healthy and thriving business needs to examine itself from all sides. It needs to encourage and solicit feedback. Communication needs to flow both ways between employees and management for it to be effective. So regular feedback gives insight into how employees are doing and also what management need to do to support them. And by giving that support, giving that understanding, having that empathy can raise morale. Feedback, don't forget, also gives insight into how management are doing, because management may be unaware that something they're doing isn't working, because now that at least their employees have now got an opportunity to tell them or feed back to them. So if they then act on that feedback and adjust their process and operations, it actually can help the company move forward, because not only is it taking account of what people are saying, but people are seeing that their contributions are being listened to and in some cases taken forward, or at least being incorporated into the management's thinking. And in all of this, what's the conclusion? Well, the conclusion is good communication will make for happier employees and also employers, because if the employees are happy, then the employers should also be happy because the employees are being more productive. Okay, so how do we try to get over these obstacles? So we would suggest at MS Solutions Training there are 7 C's to communication. I think there are other models with many more C's, but we like the 7 C's. So the communication needs to be clear. So when writing or speaking to someone, be clear about what your goal is, what your message is. People shouldn't have to read between the lines and make assumptions to understand what you're trying to say. It should be nice and clear. Is your communication correct? So when your communication is correct, it fits your audience. So are you using the correct terms for the audience's level of knowledge, their abilities? Are you adjusting to your audience? Because correct communication is also error-free communication. So have you spell checked your writing for grammatical errors and so on? Because as you know, sometimes people can just hone in on the fact you put an apostrophe in the wrong place or you spelt something wrong or whatever, rather than actually looking at the whole message. It takes their eye away from what you're trying to do. Is your communication complete? Have you included all the relevant information that you need to? Because in a complete message, the audience has got everything they need to be informed around that particular topic. And it also means, where applicable, they clearly know what you want them to do, and then they can actually do it. They can take that action if that's the requirement of that communication. It needs to be complete. It needs to be concrete, because if it's concrete, then the audience has got a clear picture of what you're trying to tell them. So they've got detail, but obviously not too many details. You want to give them vivid facts. You want to embed in them the information you're trying to impart, almost with a laser-like focus. You need to cut through the chaff and focus in on exactly what it is you want them to understand. And in that way, your message is solid like concrete. It needs to be concise. When you're concise in your communication, you stick to the point, you keep it brief. You avoid filler words, unnecessary sentences, and sometimes, so I'm certainly guilty of, you avoid repeating the point several times in different ways. You keep to the point. There you go, I've just done it. Considered and courteous. So courtesy and consideration are very similar in that you're looking at the receiver's viewpoint and you're empathetic to their needs. Courteous communication is friendly, open, honest and respectful. Being considerate is taking account of the person's interest, their background knowledge and how that message will be received. So you are very much putting them at the forefront of how you are delivering that piece of information. Okay, well, thank you for taking the time to listen to this short talk. As we said before, all this material, and it is as a bit of short talk, has been taken from the Crisis Management course, which is written and delivered by MS Solutions Training. In a moment, we're going to play you a very short video that explains how MS Solutions Training can help you, your team, and your business.
Hello. How do you feel when your organisation is forced into dealing with an unexpected or unthinkable event, and you have to deliver timely and effective responses? Being able to make positive, sensitive, and rational decisions at the most stressful of times is never easy, but it is part of a suitcase of skills that all effective managers should travel with. We believe that our products will help you pack the right skills to deal with any unexpected event. Here at MS Solutions Training, we understand what you could and will be going through, as we have been there ourselves and have the battle scars to prove it. With over 90 years of experience in both military and blue light services, we passionately believe that we can help you to make your workspace and the people within it a safer place. Do you have a vision of the future where you and your team can respond effectively to what's put in front of you? Then you are no different to us. We too have a vision, and it involves you. So for an honest, practical and sensible solution to your issues, please get in touch so that we can help you plan today for your tomorrow. Thank you for listening, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.
So thank you for watching that, and hopefully MS Solutions training can help you. We hope to bring you more information videos and micro lessons in the future. In the meantime, if you want to find out more, then please reach out to us via our website, which is on the screen here. If you are able to use a QR code or to save that, again, that's another way of accessing the website. Yet again, thank you for taking time out to listen and to watch, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care and goodbye.